A one-bedroom in Charleston now runs close to $1,900 a month. Myrtle Beach wants around $1,400. Even Greenville's pushed past $1,100. But South Carolina still has towns where $1,600 a month covers everything. The rent, the power bill, the groceries, and a Friday night out with money left over. Every number is real. Check this summer, town by town. And every town here had to pass a test the cheap living lists never run, because in rural South Carolina, the cheapest towns are often the ones that lost their hospitals. Along the way, the county that outpeached Georgia, the man who ran the world economy, and at number one, a town everyone wrote off that just opened a $55 million hospital. Subscribe and stick with me, and let's count them down. Number 10 is Gaffney. Peach orchards once blanketed Cherokee County so thickly that it grew more peaches than the whole state of Georgia, and the town has never let anybody forget it. Here, one bedrooms rent for around $825 this summer, a basket near $1,500, comfortably inside the budget. Now learn the rule that runs this entire video. Every discount has a reason. Gaffney's is a hard one. Limestone University closed in April of 2025 after 179 years, taking almost 500 jobs from a city of 13,000. A town that loses its college gets priced like a town that lost its college. But look at what it kept. Cherokee Medical Center, a 125-bed hospital right in town, a peach festival that still fills the streets, and Spartanburg 25 minutes down the interstate. The whole game of this list is finding the discount where the reason won't hurt you. Gaffney's reason already happened. You'd be buying the recovery. Number 9 is Lawrence. 5 roads converge on a public square where an 1838 courthouse holds the center. This entry is a bet about timing. One bedrooms around Lawrence County average about $820, a basket near $1,470, and that number only exists because the comeback isn't finished. On the square itself, a 1920s movie palace showed its last film in 1964 and sat dark for decades until a local college cut the ribbon in 2023 on the last thing anyone expected, an esports arena inside the old theater. Kids now win scholarships there playing video games. That's what a town waking up looks like. Prisma Health Lawrence County Hospital sits 15 minutes away in Clinton, 90 beds with straight-A safety grades. Storefronts still turn over, and the county is still climbing out of the textile years, and that's precisely the window. Squares this pretty don't stay $800 once the rest of the state notices. Number 8 is Orangeburg. On paper, this town makes no sense. Thousands of rose bushes bloom in a memorial garden on the banks of the Edisto River, one of only about 24 official rose test gardens in the country. Free. One bedrooms rent for under $800, a basket around $1,400, and this same town has a 286-bed hospital run by the Medical University of South Carolina with a trauma center and a certified stroke center. Big city medicine at a third of Charleston's rent. Keep hospitals in mind as we count down, because they decide who made this list, and they will decide number 1, the part that has to be said plainly. Orangeburg struggles with real poverty and real crime, and the difference between blocks matters here more than in most towns. Talk to locals before you sign anything. If you do, you get a college town twice over and the best hospital to rent ratio in South Carolina. Paper was never going to explain this town anyway. Number 7 is Chester. This is the entry where I try to talk half of you out of it. Crime here runs well above the state average. Roughly a quarter of the town lives in poverty, and you choose your street with real care. If that's already a no for you, that's a fair answer. For everyone else, the reward is the strangest bargain in the upstate. The old downtown sits on top of an actual hill. brick storefronts stacked along the slope, with one-bedrooms from about $650 and a basket near $1,425. In 1807, Aaron Burr, the former vice president, under arrest and marched through town, leapt from his horse, climbed onto a rock, and begged the town to rescue him. Chester looked at him and did nothing. The rock is still sitting downtown. The county keeps its own 82-bed hospital, a state park lake 10 minutes out, rents John boats for $10 an hour, and Charlotte sits under an hour north. Half of you just crossed this one off. The other half just found their town. Number 6 is Hampton, and Hampton tests you, not the other way around. Every June since 1939, this little low-country town has thrown the South Carolina Watermelon Festival, the oldest continuing festival in the state, and the parade still shuts down the middle of town. Hampton and its neighbor Varnville sit 2 minutes apart, and when a one-bedroom gets listed at all, it starts around $700, a basket near $1,350, the cheapest so far. Then there's the part that shouldn't have survived. While hospitals died all across the rural Lowcountry, Hampton Regional Medical Center in Varnville stayed open, a small community hospital that can stabilize you and move you on. For a county this size, that's a gift. So here's the test. Serious shopping is a 40-minute drive. Nightlife is the festival, the high school stadium, and your own porch. Watch your own reaction to that sentence. If it landed like a warning, Hampton isn't yours. If it landed like an exhale, it might be. Before the top 5, the test I promised you. Since 2010, South Carolina has lost 6 rural hospitals, and the cheapest towns in the state are usually the ones that lost them. Winnsboro rents for under $800, and it's a gorgeous old textile town, and it is not on this list because its hospital closed in 2018, and the nearest one with beds behind it is a 40-minute drive. Cheap stops being cheap when the ambulance has to drive that far. Every town remaining on this list kept its hospital. Remember that at number 1. Number 5 is Dillon. The kid behind a drugstore counter here grew up to run the world economy. Ben Bernanke, who steered the Federal Reserve through the 2008 crisis, was raised right here, working the counter at his family's downtown pharmacy and waiting tables at south of the border, the Interstate 95 tourist trap everyone's driven past, to help pay for Harvard. The town that taught him money is still the cheapest lesson in the state. One bedrooms run $650 to $850, a basket around $1,400 even at the high end, and the median property tax bill on a house here is about $450 a year, not a month. Dillon has the second highest poverty rate of any city in South Carolina. It's cheap because it's poor, and both halves of that sentence deserve saying out loud. What softens it is real. McLeod Health Dillon, a 79-bed hospital, sits in town, a state park sits 15 minutes out, and the beach is an hour down the interstate. If honest math and towns nobody covers are what you came for, hit subscribe, because I run these numbers for South Carolina every week. Still ahead, the town I'd move to tomorrow, the only full budget a channel will ever do out loud, and the $55 million surprise at number 1. Number 4 is Mullins. I'll keep this one quick because the pitch fits in a single sentence. A working hospital, a museum, and rent under $700 in the town that was once South Carolina's biggest tobacco market. The warehouses still line the rail tracks, the old depot is now a museum devoted entirely to tobacco, and the Medical University of South Carolina runs a working hospital right here in a town of 4,000 people. The basket lands near $1,350, which banks you over $250 a month against the budget and over $1,000 against Charleston's rent alone. Weeknights are quiet. Nearly 1 in 5 families here lives below the poverty line, and Marion's oak-shaded courthouse square sits 10 minutes west. That's the whole entry. Some towns need 2 minutes of explaining. Mullins needs a calculator. Number 3 is Hartsville, the town I'd move to tomorrow, and I'll tell you why it's only number 3. A boardwalk winds down through Laurel and Cypress to the black water of Black Creek, through a botanical garden one determined woman built on top of a literal town dump in the 1930s, free every single day of the year. Coker University keeps the calendar full, a Fortune 500 packaging company keeps the economy steady, and the downtown strip has the best coffee and dinner in the PD. One-bedroom units still rent for around $700 to $780, with Carolina Pines, a 116-bed hospital, right in town, and the basket runs about $1,400. So why only number 3? Scarcity. There are usually just a dozen or 2 rentals available in the whole city because people who land here don't leave. The catch isn't the town. The catch is the line to get into it. Set an alert and jump when the good $700 unit appears, because it'll be gone by the weekend. Number 2 is Clinton. Time to keep the promise in the title. Brick columns and a quad anchor one end of downtown, because Presbyterian College is the beating heart of this town of 8,000, and Clinton has the cheapest verified rent on this list, with a 90-bed straight-A hospital inside the city limits. So here's the full month, out loud. $670 for a 1-bedroom. Call it $200 for power and water with the air conditioner running. $400 for groceries, $50 for dinner and a movie downtown. That's $1,320, leaving almost $300 of the budget in your pocket every month, with a hospital 5 minutes away. And the town out-delivers the math. The college opens its lectures, concerts, and plays to the community, many free, and a Revolutionary War battlefield sits just out of town, where 200 Patriot militia beat 500 Loyalists in 1780, by a waterfall where legend says a woman named Mary Musgrove hid a wounded soldier. The caveat is simple. The college is the calendar, and when campus sleeps in summer, Clinton sleeps with it. Number 1 is Union, the payoff and the reason I made you remember the hospital test. An old textile mill rises out of the trees at Buffalo, built in 1901, the centerpiece of what was once called the finest surviving mill town in South Carolina, now coming down piece by piece. Union is the place everyone wrote off. The mill's closed, the county's been shrinking for decades, and nearly 1 in 5 families lives in poverty. By every rule this video taught you, Union should be the town that lost its hospital. Instead, in February of 2025, Spartanburg Regional opened a brand new $55 million medical center here. 100,000 square feet of emergency room, inpatient beds, and doctor's offices under one roof. The town at the bottom of every list got a better hospital than towns with twice the rent. 1-bedrooms run about $700, give or take. The full basket lands near 1,360 and 55,000 acres of Sumter National Forest fill the county. You're buying quiet here, not momentum, but somebody just bet $55 million on this town's next 30 years, and at $700 a month, you can make the same bet for almost nothing. The cheapest towns in South Carolina are the ones everyone stopped watching. This one stopped waiting. One thing before you go, so the math stays honest. Power bills here run about $150 in spring and closer to $200 in August, because South Carolina summers work the air conditioner hard. Social Security is never taxed in South Carolina, but other retirement income can be, and the state charges property tax on your car every year. Even with all of that, $1,600 a month with money left over is real in all 10 of these towns, and in Charleston, it does not cover the rent. Tell me in the comments which town you would pick and post what rent runs where you live, because that is the number everybody reads the comments to find. Subscribe and stick with me because I do the honest math on South Carolina every single week.